So in the first video, we had an introduction to tsibble. In the first video, we did ggplot. Now let's use another function, plotting function called autoplot. So plot using autoplot. Now, because I have nothing here in the workspace, I have to load all of these again. I have to load this library. I have to load the Amtrak data because I'm going to use it. I'm going to convert it to tsibble as well. I'm not going to use this. So now let's do the autoplot. Autoplot, I need two more libraries. First one, Fable. The other one is Fable Tools. So we need to load these. After that, I'm going to using autoplot immediately. Autoplot contains two arguments. The first one is the data set that you have is the time series one. Comma is going to be the second one, which is the variable ridership. You can immediately run this. If you run it, you're going to have your time series. If you'd like to add more layers, you can do so. You can add the labels, right? We can add the labels. Also, you can add the, what's the label? You can do X is going to be your time. Y is going to be your ridership. But look at the default. Look at the default is good for me. But if you'd like to be more specific, you can add your labels and you can add your Y lab from 1200 to 2300. Also, you can add the theme, any type of theme that you would like. Let's use the dark. It's not there. Y limit. This is dark. I don't like it. So let's use light. This is good. So this is another time series plot using autoplot function. Let's jump into another time series, which is a present. That is, I'm going to take this from the book. Again, let's just change it to time series. Also, let's introduce the keys because in this simple, the presents here, I just checked it. But let's look at this first. We have only two variables. We have the index, the month, and we have the variable. What if you have other stuff like gender, education, income, other variables? These variables, we can call them key because all of these, they create combinations. So these combinations make different numbers. So let's first load the present time series. So the present example. First of all, this is taken from the book. Present. I'm going to read it. Read CSV. After that, I am going to copy, let me copy it from the source. The path of the data set, it's not here. Right? So I'm taking this from the book, the website. So I am copying the path, the exact path of the data set. Then I am running this. So if you run this one, you're going to have a present, which is 3072 observations with 6 variables, And if you look at the details of these, you are going to see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 6 variables, right? We have 6 variables. So the first one, we have the time. And if you look at the time is, we have 1/3/2005, 1/3/2005. If we scroll down, we are going to have 1/6/2005, 1/9. So it's clear that we have a quarter data set. Also, if you look at the states, we have different states, Australian states. We have ACT, we have NSW, New South Wales, we have we have so many of these, VIC, which is Victoria, and so on. After that, we have the gender. We know the gender. We have the legal status of the prisoners, remanded and sentenced, waiting trial or sentenced, indigenous, yes or no. And we have the count of the prisoners. So we have multi combinations of these. So let's first do the following. Let's first convert the data. This is the first step. Convert to tsibble. So before you do anything, you have to convert to tsibble. Again, present time series is going to, the data is going to be taken from present. After that, I'm going to do piping here, pipes. So what I'm going to do now, the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to create the index. So I'm going to make sure that the index is correct. The time series is read correctly. So we have a quarter data. So I'm going to mutate. Again, mutate does two things, either create a new variable or transform one of the variable or override it, right? So in this case, I'm not going to override. I'm going to create a new variable and I'm going to call it quarter. I'm not going to keep the same variable date as is. I'm not going to use this and change it. No, I'm going to convert this one to year quarter. Then I'm going to change the date. So year quarter date. Go to the variable date, change it to year quarter for me, call it a quarter for me. After that, I am going to, what if, okay, someone's going to tell me, what if you immediately go to tsibble as tsibble, and you tell me the index is a quarter, as we did before. What's going to happen? Run. So the first thing we are going to have is the object quarter not found. Oops, I have an issue, sorry. Not plus. This is the issue that I'm expecting to have. A valid tsibble must have distinct rows identified by key and index. So this is the first problem we have. Because what happened, we are adding a new variable called the quarter. So in this case, we are expecting to have date, state, gender, legal, indigenous, count, and quarter. So the first issue we have date and there's no need to have date. So I'm going to take off the date, number one. So I'm going to take off the date by using a function called select. I'm going to take it off. So minus date. Also, this is not going to solve the issue because we have other variables than the quarter and the count, which is my variable. We have other variables. So these are going to be keys. These are going to be the key variables because the data set has a multiple series and these multiple series defined by combinations of state, gender, legal, and indigenous, right? So that's why we have to specify the keys here in this case. So to specify the keys, we have to put the keys here. Key. So the tsibble, if you remember, we said we have what's so called? We have two arguments at least, the index and the keys. If the dataset doesn't have keys, then there's no need to specify the keys because you have only in the previous one, Amitrack one, we had only the time series and the variable. In this case, we have keys. Because we have more than one key, we have to put them inside a vector, which is the C, right? So the first one, we have state, comma, gender. To avoid making a mistake, maybe you want to copy them from here. What about the count? The count is not a key, is the variable that we're looking for. The date, what's the date? The date, we just took it off. We don't have it anymore. So run this again. Now I have present TS, state, gender, legal, and indigenous, count, quarter. And if you'd like to move the quarter back to the front, you can do this by adding after this argument, after this line, you have to say relocate the quarter. Just bring it back. Run, present, quarter, state, gender, legal, indigenous, count, then we're good. This is not valid anymore. Now, what if you'd like to look at your dataset? Present TS. I'm running one line, by the way. To run one line, Command Shift I, or in your case, is going to be Control Shift and I guess, or just Command Enter. One line, Command Enter, or Control Enter. So we have tsibble. Oh, we have an issue. It should be at tsibble. We have the quarter, right? Quarter. Then you have the key, right? Oh, it's tsibble. It's not tsibble. Prison. TS. What's wrong? Object quarter not found. Mutate quarter. I'm sorry. Here we go. I have an issue. So I had an issue. So I forgot the pipes. Now it makes sense. So tsibble, we have 3072 times 6 quarterly. We have keys, state, gender, legal, and indigenous. We have 64 unique combinations of these, 64 of them. And the index is the quarter, year quarter. And the state, gender, legal, indigenous are all of them are characters. And the count is the numeric variable that we are looking for. Now to plot this is going to be challenging because we have many combinations, so it's going to show just single lines. So this is going to be our next way. Maybe we can find the total for each, like maybe some combinations we specify one key and we find the time series So this is going to be maybe next time we do the time series for this.